What's up, VIPs? Derek here, back with another video, and today is a personal update for you guys. A couple of weeks ago, I did an update video just saying like, hey, we're still around and things are busy, and I mentioned how I had some good news that I couldn't quite talk about yet. Well, I can today, and so that is this video. So, a little bit of background on what's been going on. First of all, for those of you who don't know, I was in full-time ministry for over a decade. I pastored a church, I was a worship leader, I did all kinds of stuff in the church, so that's my background. Okay. Now, you also, maybe if you've been watching the channel, you know I've been searching for a job for well over a year at this point. I've been working with an employment counselor. I've been working with Voc Rehab. It's a whole big thing, and nothing has really panned out. I've sent out resumes, I've had interviews, and nothing has worked out. Well, in October of this year, just a couple of months ago, I had a meeting with a local pastor here in town. Now, I knew this pastor because my kids went to church at the daycare at that local church, and I had met him numerous times, and so what I was wanting to know from him was, do you have any office space I could use? You see, I do some Christian counseling, and I was like, hey, do you think there'd be any way you could, lend me some office space or let me rent some office space from you to do the Christian counseling thing? Well, he was like, yeah, I think I have some office space. And I was like, that's great. But as we talked, he mentioned that they were looking for a worship leader at their church. Now, I don't know your belief system or how it all works with you guys, but I just felt something like, hey, you should pay attention to this. So I was like, okay, I will. So I asked him, I said, are you taking applications for the worship leader? And he's like, yeah, if you want. I was like, okay. Well, I sent him my resume, and I sent him a little demo that I had recorded at a church I sang at recently, and I didn't hear much. And I thought, well, I'll just give it a little time. Maybe he's interviewing other people, that sort of thing. Well, I ended up contacting him in November again, and he's like, well, let's have lunch and talk about it. So I was like, okay, great, we'll do that. Well, then the ball really got rolling. I met with him, I met with the worship team, I met with their elders. It was like bing, bang, boom, and it was a whole thing. I helped to kind of solidify who I was and introduce myself and all that sort of thing. Well, this past week, I met with the worship team again to help some planning, help them plan out some things. And he said, hey, can we meet for just a second over in the office? I was like, sure. So I met with him, brought my wife in because she was there to pick me up. And lo and behold, they offered me the worship pastor position. So it's very exciting. It is a part-time position right now. So I'll be working about 3 days a week plus Sundays, of course. I'll go in and I'll help to schedule the services and the song sets. I will, of course, lead the band and the musicians. It's not a huge church, so there's not a massive thing going on, but there are some, obviously elements to be had in a church service like that. And then eventually the hope is maybe I'll get to go full-time and do some other things at the church. But right now it's a part-time position, which I think actually works really well for us. Go in and make that transition from no job to a part-time job, I think will be really, really good. So we're definitely excited. It's not too far from my house, so transportation won't be a big issue, and that's always a good thing. And I'll get to use the talents and skills that I have, and I think the gifts that I have, to do something that I think I'm equipped to do. So that's really exciting. Now, why am I telling you this? Well, first of all, just because we share life together, I thought you should know, and it's always very interesting to share that kind of stuff. But secondly, I'm not sure how this is going to affect the channel at this point. As you've noticed in the last month or month and a half, things have been a bit non-existent. A couple of videos here, random thing here, but it's not been very consistent. And that's one reason is because I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to do this job. If I get it, and now that I've got it, I'm going to do it. I don't know how it's going to affect the channel. Obviously, that job's only part-time, so I can still produce content, but I'm trying to schedule everything. Okay, these are the days I work. This is the day I would record and edit, all that sort of thing. Obviously, my wife and I still want to do the podcast, and that takes some time. That's a whole big editing process, and it may just go down to the podcast for a while and a video randomly. I don't know how it's going to work, but I just wanted you to know that I'm still planning on doing something. I'm just not sure exactly how it's going to work. So my first official day there is the first Sunday in January, and then I'll be working from then on out. So I don't know. We'll figure it out. I'll keep you guys posted and let you guys know how it's going and what's going on and everything. And if you have any questions, of course, you can let me know. But I wanted to share it all with you guys because I'm very excited excited. The family is excited. A little trepidatious, I think, a little bit, because we haven't done ministry in quite a few years. But you know what? We're excited to get back into doing something that I think God has called me to do. Now, again, I don't know your belief system or whatever. It doesn't really matter. You know what? Everybody's welcome here because we're talking about sight loss, and that's what it's all about. However, I felt it important to share what's going on in my life with you guys so that you could be aware and you could know that if there's not a whole lot of content right now, well, you'll know why. So there you go, guys. Just a quick little update from me. Very excited about it. If you have any thoughts or questions, I'd love to hear them in the comments down below. But remember, if you don't see a lot of content, that's the reason why. Hope you guys are having a great day, and you're looking forward to an awesome Christmas season. If you celebrate that holiday, if you celebrate another holiday, hope that's great as well. Anyway, I'm rambling, so I'm gonna go now. But thank you so much for watching, guys. Remember that sight loss isn't the end, it's just the beginning. My name's Derek, and I'll see you guys in the next one.